She does not have what it takes. She is not smart. She's not very good looking. And you got nothing going on. And nobody likes. She is a craven political opportunist. She is an egomaniac. She just isn't that smart. She's a liar. I think she's not courageous. She is a follower, a bandwagoner. Good riddance.
Well, damn.
I ran for Congress in 2020 and have fought every single day believing that Make America Great Again meant America first. My only goal and desire has ever been to hold the Republican Party accountable for the promises it makes to the American people and put America first. With that has brought years of nonstop, never-ending personal attacks, death threats, lawfare, ridiculous slander and lies about me that most people could never withstand even for a single day. I'll be resigning from office with my last day being January 5th, 2026, and I look forward to seeing many of you again sometime in the future. May God bless you all, and may God bless America.
Game plan in session.
Unfiltered.
Marjorie Taylor Greene just resigned. Oh God, it's getting good now. I saw it from a mile away that this woman was going to resign. Once Trump called her a traitor, once he started barking on X and True Social about her, I was like, I even said it in the previous video. Girl, this is it. This is the beginning of the end. Or is it? So Marjorie, what is your plan here, girl? Are you running for Senate or what is it? What is the bigger plan behind this? So your last day in office would be January 5th. Now, I am going to let Nick Fuentes explain this because, you know, I told you this a while ago, guys. I'd rather have some MAGA or ex-MAGA tell us what it is instead of us trying to figure it out. Because Nick has been knee-deep in this whole cult movement. So what better way to learn how all of this, really goes down from someone that was in it? Now, listen, Marjorie, you said that this whole Congress, this whole party, it is too dysfunctional. But weren't you the dysfunction, Marjorie? So removing you from this whole party is like removing a Jenga block that keeps it all together. You have been one of the first mega ones, the top dogs in this game. That I'll give you that. But anyway, I digress. Now let's watch and see what he has to say about your resignation. Let's go.
Our first story, I do want to talk about the Marjorie Taylor Greene resignation. Huge news and a big surprise, big shocker. This came out of absolutely nowhere.
We've seen it.
It makes no sense on some level. Marjorie is relatively young. I mean, she's an older woman, but she's relatively young for a congresswoman. And as far as I'm aware, I think she's more popular than ever. She has easily won every election since her first election, I think in 2022 or 2020. She's been around for a long time. She's been learning the game. She's been quite popular. And like I said, the resignation follows her total and complete victory over Donald Trump concerning the bill which will force the DOJ to release the Epstein files. It seemed that this is a relationship that had been fraying for some time, maybe due to political reasons. Marjorie's very ambitious. I think we all know that she has ambitions to run for a statewide office like governor or senator of Georgia. I imagine she was angling for the vice presidency last year. At least that's what I've heard. I always thought that was idiotic, but other people insisted that would happen, and it didn't. I imagine she was angling for a cabinet position. And so it would seem to me that she is basically somebody who outgrew Congress, but found herself reaching a very low ceiling. And it seemed that the party leadership, perhaps Trump included, was not keen on elevating her any further. Perhaps they recognized that she doesn't have a very high ceiling. I don't think she has what it takes, actually. I don't think that she has the right personality. I don't think she has the right politics.
Guys, didn't I tell you this? Didn't I just tell you this in my intro? They didn't see it for her from the beginning, but she didn't realize.
I don't think she's smart enough to become the governor, the senator, the president. I think everyone recognizes that. And so they want to keep her around as a staunch, energetic ally in Congress.
Guys.
They don't see any future Senate campaign or governor campaign with her at the top of the ticket that has any chance or any kind of legs or anything like that. And so I think there was some maybe political disagreement. There was maybe a political clash. And by politics, I mean purely politics. And of course, that has manifested as a policy disagreement. I think that as Marjorie has grown frustrated with her current standing or lack thereof, I think she has decided to rebel against the party and against Trump in particular. Marjorie Greene, being what she is, she blows with the wind. She goes and bandwagons wherever the people are, whatever's popular, that's what she embraces. She serves as a bellwether, a weather vane for where the MAGA base is at, given that she is arguably the first or the second class of MAGA congressmen or congresspeople. At the same time, I think she's willing to represent that because she's dissatisfied. She's unhappy. She wants more. So this relationship has been fraying over the past year, and this really metastasized until eventually it turned into an open conflict, an open battle between Marjorie and the president over the Epstein files. And Marjorie, standing with Thomas Massie and Lauren Boebert and Nancy Mace, these were the four Republican defectors that insisted, and they voted and worked along with the Democrats on passing a bill in the House forcing the release of the files. Marjorie disagrees with the president on H-1Bs, on bombing Iran, on foreign aid to Israel, and on the Epstein files. These all happen to be MAGA, America First issues. These are America First labor, corruption, and foreign policy issues.
But you have to understand, these are all America First issues, but these are not Trump's issues. That was his campaign. And if you listen to Trump, this is what he says a lot. During campaign, everything goes. There are no rules. We're talking about Donald Trump, the money man. Not a good businessman, not really, but the money man. Everything that is bettering him and his people around him. Not challenge the money for coming in. No, that's not what he wants. But people didn't realize that. You didn't really look at the fine print. You didn't really look at the man behind the man. And this is what y'all got.
Most of these things are things that Trump campaigned on himself. Perhaps not specifically H-1Bs, but Trump did campaign on not starting new wars, on an America First foreign policy, and on releasing the Epstein files. He's not delivering, and these are the areas where Marjorie has disagreed. In response, Trump has totally pulled the rug out from under her and declared an open war on her. Marjorie retaliated against the president. She replied, and she said that because of the statement, she's been getting death threats. She says that people are threatening her, harassing her, doxing her. She's in fear for her life. Here's the thing. And I think the statement is basically a fake statement. She made this big, long video, and she addresses some of her grievances, and ostensibly she explains her decision, but I think we all know none of this is true. There's some other reason that she's resigning. None of this makes sense. And I think it points to one distinct possibility, which might be the most obvious. She wants to be the president. She wants to run for president.
I'm telling you.
Everybody knows that.
Yes.
We know for a fact that she's ambitious. She ran in 2020 as a MAGA congresswoman when the Democrats won the majority. And very quickly, she was sidelined and I think also sort of typecast as a hillbilly, as a hill person, a Trump radical, someone like the New York Times describes her, who is not interested in building a coalition or working across the aisle or passing legislation, but she wants to be a social media influencer. She wants to pander to the furthest right edge of the MAGA base. So she was taken out of the game quite early. She lost her committee assignments. She was marginalized really by her own party as well. And then in 2022, when the Republicans retook the House, Marjorie Greene sold out. And she went and made a deal with Kevin McCarthy. Kevin McCarthy is not MAGA. He's not loyal to Trump. He's not loyal to anybody. He's like the epitome of a spook. He is like the definition of the DC swamp. the definition of everything that's wrong with the GOP conference. And in 2022, when Republicans gained back the House by a hair, it was very difficult for the Republicans to choose a speaker because there was nobody in the House that could really command a large number of votes besides Kevin McCarthy. And Marjorie Greene basically made a deal with Kevin McCarthy and said that she would help him get the speakership. She would quell the MAGA uprising. She would mediate that if he would elevate her in Congress. And so there Marjorie was with Mila Yiannopoulos, her Jewish pedophile assistant, her lapdog. There they were on election night in 22. They said cheers to joining the swamp. And Marjorie Greene sold out the MAGA base. She did a lap dance on Kevin McCarthy. She busted down for him. She whipped the votes. She attacked Matt Gaetz. She attacked others that didn't want Kevin McCarthy to be the speaker. And then she got her reward. She took her money like a whore. She got her position, and she was put back on the committees. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough, and it didn't work out. Because, of course, Kevin McCarthy crashed and burned after just a year. He was bounced by Matt Gaetz. There was effectively a vote of no confidence by Matt Gaetz just before October 7th. Kevin McCarthy was overthrown and replaced with Mike Johnson.
And I bet, Marjorie, you didn't take that into account. So you didn't have a plan B, I'm sure. Because all that, barking and screaming at the top, you weren't focused, girl. So what was your plan B? Because now this man is gone. You busted down for him. Nick said it. It's not me. He said it. Joe Mega guy that said it. You bust down. And now what?
So Marjorie lost her sugar daddy. In 2023, she made this deal. She sold out. She became deeply unpopular. Everybody recognized that. And then her sugar daddy, well, he lost anyway. And Matt Gaetz then eventually lost his position because the swamp retaliated against him. But this wasn't enough for Marjorie. Marjorie wanted the committee assignments, and she wanted to make this deal to demonstrate that she's a serious player. She wanted to be the governor. She wanted to be the senator. She wanted to be the vice president. She wanted to be in the cabinet. She's very ambitious. So the reason she made the deal with Kevin McCarthy to get the assignments, it wasn't just because she wanted the committee assignments. It's because she wanted to start to build up her credibility. And she wanted to change her reputation. And she thought that not only would she get her committee assignments, but maybe one day the GOP would select her to run for the Senate seat in Georgia or to run for the governorship. But that was delusional because she does not have what it takes. She is not smart. She's not very good looking. No offense. This is politics. It is what it is. And what's more, unfortunately, she is just not politically viable in the state of Florida. In other words, you can't be the MAGA congresswoman. You can't be what she is and be the statewide winner.
So basically, Marjorie, what Nick is saying that you did all this whooping and hollering, tap dancing, and you didn't get nothing in return. Isn't that so sad? And I was really easy on you too. Because what I hear Nick say is that they don't even think you're competent. You had to sell yourself out, whore out, as Nick Fuentes said, to even get to where you got now, where is absolutely nowhere. My God, Marjorie.
Republicans, I'm sure, told her that's never going to happen. They said governor, senator, vice president, cabinet post, never going to happen. You've been a congresswoman for what, like 4 years? And you got nothing going on. And nobody likes you. The Democrats don't like you, And so I think what very clearly happened is that she hit her ceiling. She sold out, but the party was not going to really give her everything maybe that she expected to get out of this. She made her deal with the devil. And as is always the case, the devil actually doesn't deliver. You sell your soul and you don't get what you think you're going to get. So she sold her soul. She gave up her credibility and she said, all right, am I going to be the governor now? And they said, get the fuck out of here. You're not going to be the governor. Be happy you're on a committee. They said, be happy you're on a committee. And maybe in 10 years you could be, maybe we'll talk about it. Maybe we'll have that conversation. There's a lesson in this. Everybody thinks they're playing the system. The system is playing you. Because they made the system and they wrote its rules. So everybody thinks they're going to instrumentalize the system cynically. They're going to infiltrate. They're going to subvert. Everybody thinks they're going to make a pact with the system with their fingers crossed behind their backs, thinking they have no idea. I'm just using them to get ahead. When in reality, you cannot make deals with the system because the system was here before you were born. And the system wrote the rules. And the system, it is the water in which you swim. And so the idea that you will get an advantage over the system, it is not mathematically possible. It can't happen. You do not know how to play. They're smarter than you. They've been there longer than you. They're more powerful than you. It was never gonna work. So where does that leave her in 2025? Well, understandably, she's pissed. I think she starts to resent the president. She starts to resent the GOP, and politically, she sees an opening. And I think Marjorie finds her leverage. What's going to be her third act? If her first act was MAGA nut job, second act was traitor, sellout bitch. If her third act is going to be, how do I...
Nick, traitor, sellout, bitch. My God, I love politics, guys. I just love it. I don't know.
Get the initiative back, I will become the voice of the discontented MAGA. If you're not going to listen to me as the team player, I'll go right back on the outside. I tried to be a team player for McCarthy. If you're not going to give me what I'm owed, then I'm going to become a problem for you. So she finds an opportunity. She recognizes that MAGA is a sinking ship. She's right. The Republicans are going to get destroyed in the midterms. They're going to lose the House. And even if Marjorie runs in 2026 and wins, if Trump tries to primary her, it's going to be a vicious battle. It's going to be ugly. If she has Trump and AIPAC and the Jewish lobby going really hard against her for a year, she's going to get bruised up, even if she wins. And even if she wins, she's going to be entering a Democrat-controlled chamber. They're going to take her committee assignments from her all over again, back to square one.
Oh, my God.
Another explanation is, who knows? Maybe they got something on her. Maybe she's afraid. Maybe they have blackmail on her. Maybe they have something because she's not the first person to leave under mysterious circumstances. And she's also not the first person to leave under mysterious circumstances who became a problem for MAGA Inc. Matt Gaetz comes to mind. But I don't think that's the impetus behind this. I imagine she was either threatened or blackmailed. And I think that's the urgency. I think that explains the timing. She overthrows Trump on Epstein. It's a mutiny. I said it on Monday. I said, don't underestimate what a big deal this is. It's a huge...
Guys, so what do you think? What do you think she's blackmailed on, if that's the case? Or what they got against her? What do you think, guys, this could be? Put in the comments.
Huge deal. It's a mutiny. And Marjorie and Thomas Massie and Boebert and Mace, they led the charge. And for her to announce her resignation just a few days after that, that's a big deal. Something happened, but it was made clear to her that if she runs, her political career is going to end. I think that was intimated to her in some way, shape, or form. The reason I'm actually relieved to see her go is because she is not a principled person. She is a craven political opportunist. She is an egomaniac. She just isn't that smart. And I don't think that she actually really took a brave stand at any point in her career. I think that it was popular to support Trump when she supported Trump. I think that it was convenient to support McCarthy when she did that. And I think that when she took up the mantle of dissatisfaction with Trump this year, again, I think that's where the wind was blowing. And so I don't think she's very principled at all. I don't think she's taken a principled stand in her life. I think she's reacted. And so I find her to be not only untrustworthy because she lied about me and lied about her relationship with me and lied about her views. So I think she's a liar. I think she's not courageous. She is a follower, a bandwagoner, so she has no principles. She worked with Kevin McCarthy. And if it wasn't for Matt Gaetz, we would still have Kevin McCarthy. And it would have been her fault. So good riddance. I agree with Trump. It is great news for the country. People like Marjorie Greene come and go. It's a revolving door. You think you're a big shot because you're working in a congressional office? You're not. These people are disposable. Marjorie Greene and the whole operation, flush. Bye-bye, Marjorie. Bye-bye.
Well, guys, what did you think about what Nick Fuentes just said? One thing we can say is that Marjorie didn't bow out quietly. This caused quite a ruckus in these internet streets. But Trump is certainly not extending an olive branch here. Now, if you enjoyed this video, hit a like for your girl. And if you haven't joined the family yet, click subscribe. Guys, I just love politics. I have so much fun with this. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending time with your girl. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Peace.